Okay. Rebecca, you okay with calling the roll?
Sure. Mr. Joyce,
Present.
Reedy,
Here.
Beston,
Here.
Collins,
Here.
McLean Lane,
Here.
Miller,
Present.
Moriello,
Here.
Ward,
Here.
and Willingham. 8 present, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Rebecca. Okay, I'd like to call the March meeting of the Health Committee to order. Under previous business. Could I get a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mr. Beston, second by Mr. Ward. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Number 2, authorizing an agreement with the Psychiatric Group of Albany regarding psychiatric services. Was Dr. Giordano tonight?
Mr. Chairman, at the risk of annoying you and the committee, I have to ask that we table this again. I was under the mistaken impression that the item that we tabled last year could be resubmitted as is, and I learned that we had to resubmit again for 2022. We will be ready to go at the next convening of this meeting, and I apologize for continuing to not have that ready to act upon.
Nope, no worries. Thank you, Giordano. Can I get a motion to table?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. McLean Lane, second by Mr. Ward. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Number 3, local law number K for 2021, local law of the County of Albany, New York, to provide for the safe disposal of opioid medications.
Mr. Chairman, local law K and its public hearing, items 3 and 4 are both tabled at the request of the sponsor this month.
Okay, so they're requested a sponsor. We don't need to make a motion then, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Chairman, could I ask a question though?
go ahead, Mr.
Just a real quick question. Maybe I'm mistaken. Is there not already something like this at the state or federal level where they do have to, I know this is table, but don't when they give out opioids already have to give disposal methods? Or is that something some places are just doing?
Mr.
I can
Chairman,
take that question.
I can, or Pat Alderson, go right ahead.
So what currently exists is and probably Dr. Giordano can chime in as well here, but there's a lot of like take back events that are currently funded at various pharmacies across the county. And in fact, the county did fund permanent take back systems at all of the independent pharmacies within the county. However, this would be a different kind of disposal system. This would be something that at the time of when a patient picks up a prescription, they would be able to receive a disposal system that they could take home with them and dispose of the medication at their house, as opposed to taking it back to a location, for example, at a pharmacy, or I believe they have a lot at Walmarts as well.
Okay. I know I had a recent knee injury and I had some opioids given to me, and I did get one of those take home kits. So I don't know if that's maybe something CVS was doing, but so the point is there's no state or federal requirement of that right now, as far as we know.
On the state level, it's making its way through the legislature. It is a bill that's being considered currently, but there's no actual law on it.
Okay. I don't want to take more time, but I just had that question because it's been on the agenda a couple of times now. I was wondering. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miller. So 3 and 4 have been tabled at the request of the sponsor. So we'll move on to number 5. Under current business, amending the 2022 Department of Mental Health Budget Workforce Development Plan.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am ready to talk about that one.
Sure.
So this is a follow-up to Resolution 466 from last year when we came before you to request permission to accept $100,000 from the New York State Office of Mental Health. There has been a lot of money floating around at the state level, as you well know, and much of it came in the form of block grants to the state, and a lot of it was COVID related. The New York State Office of Mental Health recognizes that the workforce in the behavioral health, mental health field particularly is under great strain. And as I've mentioned to you before, there's challenges finding qualified candidates. This money we're asking to use to amend our 2022 budget. We're creating a new position in our budget between social worker and supervising social worker that would introduce more of a stepping career path that might attract candidates from the community to come to us. And we hope that it would help us retain employment. We would be able to attract more experienced, qualified candidates from the community. And as I said, it would add a career step where there isn't now. So what we're intending to do is to use existing social worker vacancies, turn them into this social worker 2 position, essentially between social worker and supervising social worker. And we prorating the $100,000 to $75,000 because we wouldn't start until the first quarter of the year was passed. It's 100% state funded, and we ask for your consideration.
Excuse me. Any questions from the committee?
I just had one.
Go ahead, Mr. Miller.
So I think you answered already, Dr. Giordano, but it's this is from state funding or state grants that we already have. So it's just reallocation of that money.
Oh, well, it was received this year. So this award was this grant was made known to us in the fall of last year.
Right.
We came to you guys and we're just getting it for 2022.
Okay, but you're just reallocating those monies. There's no additional
Yes.
monies, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions from the committee?
Chairman Joyce?
Go ahead, Mr. Grimm.
Yeah, you say it's state funded. Will that be in each of the outgoing years too? Because once you bring these employees on, of course, the expectation is they'll be renewed. Will the state funding continue to pay their salaries?
Yeah, well, our hope is that it will be. The issue for us right now is that we have a number of grant opportunities that we've taken advantage of, and we're pretty confident that one way or another, although we don't know tonight how that would happen, one way or another, we'd be able to extend this, even to the point of restructuring our other lines to reallocate internal money. So there is no commitment at the state tonight, but we're pretty confident that we could make this sustainable. As a matter of fact, that was a requirement for accepting the money from the Office of Mental Health, and we explained to them what the different options might be from our side.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chairman Joyce.
For Mr. Grimm. Any other questions from the committee? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move?
Motion to move.
Make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Second by Ms. McLean Lane. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Thank you, Giordano.
Thank you,
And,
Mr. Chairman. Be well and be safe, everyone.
You too.
I'm here.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion made by Cunningham, second by Mr. Ward, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.